Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take a look here again at ICP, see what's going on. We are looking at a pretty normal correction. This is very standard. A lot of folks are curious, like, hey, what's going on? Why is it pulling back so much? Well, a lot of it hinges on the fact that Bitcoin was retracing pretty decent there, but also, more important, it's just a natural correction because most of these cup and handle patterns, they'll flag out before they take off. Right, so what we're hoping for is to see a retest this descending trend and to potentially, of course, break through that and then continue on its merry way from there, right? So that's the consideration. Is this a guarantee? Definitely not, but there's still a lot of confirming factors, right? So we're going to take a look at that and a few other things and just be realistic too. I mean, you don't want to blindly just say the price is going to keep going up because there's a flag, right? We want to look and make sure that everything else is kind of telling us the same thing. So just heads up on that. We're going to look at this abstractly and double check a few key factors. We do look here, of course, just want to give you a heads up. We had, what was it, somewhere in the range of $1.2 billion in volume from Bitcoin. Price shot up really strong. We're seeing a lot of altcoins recover well. We took a nice little 36% from Bitcoin, SUI 84, and Cardano 32% yesterday as well. So it's been a good little situation. We're not shorting any coins right now. While you can have a lot of success shorting coins to the downside, with Bitcoin having kind of this coming back alive kind of situation, it's not really worthwhile. Take a look here. We zoom in. We can kind of see these little gaps here. We're basically a heavy concentration about 787. So 780 is a round number, 790. And then, of course, we got like 7 to 650 range too as well. But the best way to understand it here is when we kind of zoom into the macro, we can recognize that 920 to 950 is that heavy concentration of liquidation on the upside. Still more potential for us to go up than down based on that being closer. Okay, again, now that's not like the only thing. It just works kind of like a magnet in some cases. So just know with heavy liquidation above the price action, those shorts could absolutely get swept here in the relative near future. Okay, so just be mindful of that. And this little recovery here, of course, most coins recover very similar. You can see some pretty strong pushes up here from a lot of altcoins. ICP is recovering fairly well. Okay, so it's kind of standard, but there's no doubt this is a descending channel and generally construed as bearish, really. It's still no other way around it. It kind of boils down to descending channels are always bearish. But what we're looking for here today is a good solid closure at or above the current price point. So we got a hammer doji here, generally implying that the bottom is in. A lot of times when you see those kind of candlesticks, the price reverses itself. Now, does that mean it just goes straight up to the moon, as some would say? No, that's not the case. It just implies that a reversal or a shift of momentum is going to happen, or more likely to happen rather. We do still have a little bit more fair value down here as low as 785. So keep in mind there's that fair value gap there. That's exactly where the liquidation level is at here, the next closest. You can kind of see a concentration at 780. As we've identified, it was right here. So that's that 780 mark. So again, that's why fair value and liquidation kind of exist together, because that's why fair value gaps are typically filled, because then the price action will hit that liquidation level and turn around. Okay, so we're just kind of seeing that there. So I would say worst case scenario for ICP, 790, we get a bounce off 790, right in that range at 0.5 FIB level. All right, so take a look here. Of course, we can see stochastic swinging down. That's natural for a lot of coins. Don't read into that too much. Bitcoin is showing the same thing, and it's still fairly bullish over the last few days, right? We've been expecting Bitcoin to sweep that upper level liquidation. We can see here, though, with us being over 50 on the RSI, that's super strong. Most coins don't have that. TSI is really good. We have good strength, and we got good momentum here on our MACD. So from a momentum standpoint, the uptrend is still holding. Okay, we don't need to overly concern ourselves with the price pulling back, even though it probably will. It shouldn't continue too much longer, right? Again, I think the $7.90, $8 range is probably the lowest, if that even happens. Now, again, we're holding above 50 on the RSI. Money flow index got a nice little bounce here, and we got a lot of money flowing right back into this coin. So this higher volume candle implies we have sustainability, because as the price continue to pull back, we can see a majority of these are lower volume candles, right? Now, granted, this last candle isn't super high if you compare it with this one here, but the truth is it's higher than the last 24 hours of bearish divergence. So that implies we have more continuation on the upside because of that. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? We are still diverging here, but we're losing its momentum, which is good. We can see here as well, trend strength indicator kind of giving us indication the price is potentially reversing itself or bouncing. And a lot of times when you see that, it does continue further up and stochastic swinging up. So the majority of these things are good signs, but the only thing that's kind of like a caveat here, this comes with flags in most cases, is the simple fact that we have the 20-day SMA kind of above the price action now. Potentially going to be working as a resistance, but you got to recognize the 20-day SMA is not a resistance or a support more so. It's mainly just kind of an indication of what side of the tracks you're on. In this case here, breaking below that is letting us know that there's potential for further downside. We got to be mindful of that. However, we got a lot of money flowing right here at this coin. We got a lot of point of control here as well. I think there's a decent chance that we're in good shape. We should be able to continue higher, pending Bitcoin doesn't take a nosedive down to 57, 56K. I do think a natural correction from Bitcoin could cause ICP to progress a little bit lower. But if you look at Bitcoin right now, it's kind of plateauing and ICP is steadily increasing. Okay, that's usually a good sign. Take a look at the Ichimoku cloud as well. We are below the cloud, but the lagging span is now within the price action, generally implying that you shouldn't be shorting this coin. And of course, the conversion line and baseline are getting closer to intersecting. So this is that little point of resistance potential. We have resistance here at about 850. If we close above 850 today, we'll be in good shape. We basically want to get above our more local high here, and that's going to be an important thing. So if in a perfect world, we're going to do one of these. That's what it's going to look like. What that would do for us is that would bullishly backtest this descending trend line and essentially give us confirmation we're back on track. Right now, we're kind of in this little transition where we're trying to break this descending channel. And a lot of times, the first thing you're going to identify is a higher high and a higher low, or more importantly, breaking free from its local resistance, which right now is at 0.236 fib level at 855. Okay, so we're looking for a closure at 855 or higher today. That's probably the best way to describe it. Other than that, really, things are still looking just fine here. I really don't see any super major concerning things here. Again, from a abstract point of view, ICP is looking more bullish than bearish, and there's no other way to really describe it. It's looking, par for the course. That's pretty much what it boils down to. So hopefully that makes sense. I described that correctly. Again, if you want to wait for a better entry in the $7.95 to $8 range, there could be a possibility of that opportunity happening. But it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's going to sell off or not, it could continue to pump, and likely is going to, because there's tons of liquidation in the upper price range, and we're seeing that still present here with ICP. So just some things to kind of think about. That's kind of where we're at there. Hopefully that makes sense. I described that correctly. Thank you again so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Oh, I do apologize. I forgot. I keep doing this. We have a secondary exchange that we're working with, because I always recommend swing trading and day trading in separate portfolios. So BTCC, another no KYC or VPN exchange. Link down below. Awesome deposit rewards. I highly recommend using them. They have really good demo trading too, if that's something you want to try to practice with. It's a good call. Either way, thanks again for your time. We'll see you again soon. Take care.